Thank you for visiting treatmentforocd.com. My name is Chrissie Hodges, and in today's video I want to talk about just getting help with OCD. I think a lot of times when people have OCD, and especially when I went through it, I would get so desperate at times I just thought there is no help for me. The symptoms can be so overpowering and overwhelming of anxiety that you really just think, I must be the one person that's resistant or that's treatment resistant, and that there's never going to be any help for what I'm going through. This is really common, mainly because the symptoms can be so intense and debilitating and crippling at times. It just feels like that there's no way out. Fortunately, there is effective treatment and there is help for OCD, and it is important for you to see that no matter what you're dealing with, no matter what obsession, no matter what you've been going through, effective treatment is possible and recovery is possible for anyone. The first line of defense is going to be, and sometimes people like to do medication in combination with therapy, but medication can be prescribed by a doctor and monitored while you're on it as well. You can do medication and or with therapy. The most effective therapy and the evidence-based therapy for OCD is going to be exposure response prevention, also known as ERP. If a therapist is not providing ERP therapy, they are not effectively treating OCD. This doesn't mean that, that they're stupid or they don't know what they're doing. This just means that they aren't specializing in OCD, and OCD needs specialized treatment. Now, there are OCD specialists scattered all over. Sometimes they can be hard to find. That's where I can come in and help. Sometimes therapists will use ERP, but they'll also use supplemental treatment modalities such as dialectical behavioral therapy. They can use ACT, they can use mindfulness therapy, other things that can supplement the exposure response prevention therapy. However, it is important to note, you never want to use any other sort of therapy to replace exposure response prevention. That needs to be the number one on your treatment list for OCD. Where I can come in and help you is to help you find the right therapist. Sometimes they're hard to find, sometimes there's not any in your area, and then there's a lot of therapists that can't do Skype or teletherapy across state lines. So what you can do is schedule a consultation with me. I can help find some referrals and resources either in your area or via the internet, if that is an appropriate way for you to seek treatment as well. For the peer support session, go a little bit in depth about what you've been going through, maybe answer some of the questions that could be hindering you from getting treatment or making you a little bit resistant to wanting to get treatment. And I use my own lived experience to help normalize what you've been going through and also hopefully provide you some hope in moving toward recovery from OCD. Either one of these, I'll be able to provide you what I like to call an email of hope within 24 hours. This is where I'll give you several different therapists you can interview, find out who fits the best with you or your loved one, web links, books, support networks, support groups online or in your area, success stories, and other tools that can relate to recovery with OCD. But I do want you to hear this. There is help for OCD. You are not alone, and recovery is possible for anyone. So check out the site, decide whether or not a consultation or a peer support session would be best for you, navigate over to the calendar and book your session. I look forward to meeting you and seeing you soon. Bye.